Hey YouTube, Lucky here from the lab, and today I'm going to bring you a video showing you my advice and recommendations on what you should and should not buy from Xur for the Trials of Osiris. Alright, now first things first, looking at his inventory, we see here that he has the MK44 standardicides for the Titan. These are an excellent exotic leg armor, but they are not nearly as good as the Peregrine Greaves. The Peregrine Greaves can stop nearly every super in the entire game. It can knock a defender bubble out of an armor of light. The Peregrine Greaves are just so much better than the MK44 standardicides. I highly recommend them. But that being said, if you want to extend the duration of your shoulder charge, the standardicides are very excellent for that. Basically, when you're running with your shoulder charge, you have a short amount of sprint distance, and the standardicides make that distance longer, allowing you a lot more time to land a shoulder charge. But the Peregrine Greaves increase the damage of the shoulder charge, meaning you can knock out a Blade Dancer, a Radiant Skin, and a Defender Bubble, etc. And so again, I highly recommend the Peregrine Greaves over the MK44s, but they're both an excellent exotic piece. Moving on to the next piece, we have the exotic chest piece for the Hunter. This is the LUCKYY Raspberry. What this gives you is you will respawn with full grenade energy, which is always a valuable attribute in the Trials of Osiris due to the rounds. Every round you'll spawn with more grenade energy. However, the only problem with this is that these are designed around arc bolt grenades, which are fairly effective but aren't necessarily the most effective in the game, especially in comparison to fire bolts and sticky grenades. These aren't the best exotic to use for your Hunter. The Bones of EAO are generally seen as being the best currently in the new meta for the Hunters, but they are still very, very powerful. Spawning with grenade energy is always a good option, and I would highly recommend still using these if you don't have the bones, or if you like having a constant grenade every round in the Trials of Osiris. Moving on to the third exotic gauntlet, we have the Claws of Ahamakara. These are an absolutely essential exotic gauntlet for your Warlock, especially if you're using the Stormcaller. These are the best exotic you can use for your Stormcaller. Almost everyone is using these if they're using a Stormcaller, due to the fact that they give you an additional melee charge. Now, an additional melee charge on the Stormcaller is so effective because he has the longest ranged melee in the game, and so that's his best attribute, is his melee. Giving him doubling that attribute is excellent. And so if you're going to use a Stormcaller, this is an excellent exotic piece to use. If you're going to use the Voidwalker or the Sunsinger, still a very good piece to use. Always great to have an additional melee charge, but these especially stand out and shine for the Stormcaller. Moving on to the exotic weapon, we have the Patience and Time. This is an exotic sniper that's really effective in PvE, much more so than PvP. Going invisible isn't that helpful in PvP as much as it could be. You make a very loud noise, you reveal your position, and most importantly that this exotic sniper does not have as high of impact as a lot of the legendary snipers, meaning that you can't one-shot a lot of the damage buff supers. And so this is a nice exotic, fun to use, but not the most practical for Trials of Osiris, or for Iron Banner for that matter. Moving on to the next, we have the Legacy Hanger for the helmet. This will give you a year 1 exotic helmet. The light level will be very low, so this is not going to help you at all in Trials. This will help you only to get an exotic piece that you have yet to discover, so only use this unless you are looking for something that you haven't discovered from year 1. Right? We have the Glass Needles, which are great for rerolling the Intellect, Discipline, and Strength on your exotic pieces, of course, and the 3 of Coins are always essential. Buy as many of these as you can, and try and get as many exotic drops as possible. Alright, if you have any questions or comments about any of the things I said, post a comment below and I'll answer them. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good night, and as always,
stay saucy.
It's the one and only Digo Double G.
Hello, I'm Chris Darch. Thank you for watching this lucky and unliked video. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for daily Destiny videos. Thank you and good night.